This is Whole and Beautiful, and I am Angela Oliphant, your host, and I am so glad you have joined me tonight for a night of information, revelation, and change. Tonight, guys, is going to be a great night. As I told you at the beginning of the year, I'm having different shows, talking to different people, because I want to share their stories, their whole and their beautiful journey. And I do have a guest on tonight, and she's going to come on. She's going to share some information about herself, some information about what she's doing and her job that she does now, her career that she has chosen. It's going to be an awesome, awesome night. So I want you to tag, to like, to share this broadcast with someone. I want you to call in your friends, call in your girlfriends. Let them know that we are on tonight and that we have a special guest, and she's going to bring some powerful information to the table, something that you can apply to your life and grow. And that's what I want to do. I want to be the connector and connect you with some people who will continue to help you grow and be the best you that you can be, and she most definitely can do that. So, guys, we are going to take a short Selah moment break right here, and when we come back, I'm going to introduce to you my guest. And if you have any questions during this interview, I want you to put those questions down in the comment section, and we will get them to her, and she will get back in contact with you. You can send those questions to wholebeautiful@gmail.com, and I can forward them to her, and she will also be sharing her information, and you can get in contact with her also. But right now, we're going to take this short Selah moment break, and we will be right back. Hello, and welcome back. This is Whole and Beautiful. I am Angela Oliphant, and I am your host. And I am here tonight to just give you some information that will bring about a revelation, and prayerfully it will bring about a change in your life. Tonight I have a very special guest here with me, and I am so glad that she has come on tonight to share some information with you that is going to help you out in your life. Tonight I have with me Bertha Yvette Myers. I met her, it's been some years ago that I met her, and she is a powerful woman, and she has stepped into her career. She's doing a lot, and I want her to share about herself, because normally, guys, I will give you this long bio about the person that I'm talking to, but I would like for her to share a little bit about herself and let you get to know her through her own voice. So, hi, Yvette, how are you?
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing well. I would like you just to share who Bertha Yvette Myers is with the listeners, just to share a little bit about yourself and your career choice and what you're working in now.
My name is Bertha Yvette. I go by both. Some people know me by Bertha, some by Yvette. So if you hear me say Bertha Yvette, I'm not being extra. It's just because some people know me by different names. I'm a licensed mental health counselor. I've started my journey in about 2013. That's when I started school due to going through some stuff on my own that I couldn't deal with. And now I'm here as a licensed counselor, and I love my job. I work with, predominantly I work with, my specialties are anxiety, stress, depression, grief, conflict, and substance use or abuse. Those are the areas in our lives that either make the rest of our life better or worse. Even with a diagnosis of mental illness, if we don't get a hold of those things, anxiety, stress, depression, grief, conflict, the rest, everything else just goes into the garbage can. And so my specialty is to minimize those effects on our lives and to get to a better space so that we can either deal with the real mental health issue or that we can get to a space where we're in a good place.
Okay. That is a lot. You said one of your specialties is anxiety. That stuck out to me because I've dealt with that just recently, within the past few years, because of some different things that have happened in my own life. When you have to deal with somebody that's dealing with anxiety or dealing with depression or substance abuse, do you find that each situation is really different, or is there like something that's still the same in each person that you end up dealing with?
It's like this. There are a lot of tools out there for mental health, and what I've learned for me is that a lot of tools that are available for anxiety, stress, wasn't meeting the needs of the clients that I was working with. So, look, necessity is the mother of invention. So I developed a tool that I call the Wasi scale. And it's WASI. Actually, Wasi is Swahili for anxiety. And what happens is you can put yourself on this scale at any given time, anytime that you're thinking. And anytime something is in front of you, I ask clients to ask yourself, what number are you? The scale is from 0 to 10. 0 is the best. If you can imagine you're sitting at the park, your dogs are chasing butterflies. It's a beautiful day. It's not too hot, not too cold. The sun is shining. That's a 0. A 10 is a mental apocalypse. Everything that could go wrong is going wrong. And so how you do it is you put yourself on the scale, and the goal is to keep yourself between 0 and 6. Now, how is this answering your question, Angie, is that with anxiety and with depression, with stress and grief, if you don't know where you are, you can't know how to get anywhere. How do you get where you need to be if you don't know where you are? And so if you put yourself on that scale, 0 to 6, and you say, what number am I? The goal is to stay between 0 and 6. And you determine what that is. What does that look like? If you're at a point where you're ready to lay hands on someone aggressively, then that's a 10. So you can't say that that's a 5. You know, if that's not a 5, that's a 10. So that's how you do it. And when you start to understand where you are and what is in your environment that's triggering you, that's when you can get a hold of your anxiety, stress, depression, grief, and conflict. That's when you can say, you know what, which won't lead to substance use or abuse. That's when you can say, you know, I got a hold of this. And once you get a hold of it, there are so many other tools that you can use to move from that space. But that's the first step, is to get a hold of it and know where you are and to know what's causing you to go into those negative spaces.
Wow. Do you think that if counseling with younger children, like if they started counseling at a younger age, putting it as a part of, like we have it in curriculum for kids to go out and exercise, do PE is what we used to call it, and go to the gym and exercise and be outside. Do you think that regular counseling for children would be helpful so that as they grow up, when they become adults, we're not dealing with those issues as adults?
I have a twofold answer to that. I think that I personally believe that if there is not an issue, that counseling may not be beneficial, because but I do believe that learning techniques on how to deal with yourself, because the goal of parenting is to get our children to govern themselves. The goal, you know what I'm saying, to get to a space where they can deal with what they're dealing with, and you don't have to intervene at all times. And that's the goal of parenting, to get them to be able to handle their lives and get them to govern themselves. Now, if they are in a space where they're waiting on, you know what I'm saying, someone to, you know what I'm saying, like in counseling, you're dealing with a negative thing. If we can get them to govern themselves, then there won't be a negative thing, if that makes sense.
Yes, it does.
So
that makes
so
sense.
if we can start to practice these tools, and some of these tools that I have on my YouTube channel at Better Decision, Better Health, some of the tools I have on my YouTube channel, on my page. My page is www.betterdecisionsbetterhealth.com. I believe with better decisions, we have a better health. Our decisions affect our physical health. And so all of those tools, and I got a Critters section on my website called Raising Critters, and it's just parenting tips that to help you, with day-to-day things.
Wow. You said Raising Critters?
Yes, Raising Critters. I hope that
I like that. I like it, but I like the name Better Decisions, Better Health, too, because when I saw that, it made me think about how we need to make better decisions, and it causes us to walk in better health, and that's something that we all can learn from. Do you see that you're counseling more men than women, or more women than men, or is it a balance in there with men and women?
The people that I'm counseling now after the pandemic are the people that are usually the ones that everybody else go to, what we call the strong people. I have a theory on strong, and I'm going to share. Don't let me forget about this. I'm going to tell you about it in a minute. But these are the people that I'm counseling now, the ones that everybody else goes to when they're having problems. And now during a pandemic and everybody is leaning on them, these are the ones that are not okay now.
Wow. And I was going to ask you about that about the pandemic, and are you seeing more people come into counseling due to the pandemic?
I do. I see more people coming in regards to, I don't want to forget your question in regards to male, female. I'm seeing more men, but I'm seeing more men come into counseling. Actually, I'm seeing more men of color coming into counseling, which is really interesting because, and I know that in a colorless society, we would like to believe that we are living in a colorless society, but we aren't. Men coming to counseling was almost taboo, especially men of color, and I'm seeing more men of color coming into counseling.
Wow. And I was going to ask that question because I know that there's a lot that's going on now with mental health, even within the community of black people. A lot of people are saying, they're going to counseling now, when before it was taboo for you to even mention that you went to counseling. But now it's bringing an awareness. I was like, it was taboo. They were saying, it's taboo. People wouldn't even talk about it. Even if they went to see a counselor, they wouldn't say it. But I'm starting to see more people now voicing it and saying, yeah, you need to go. Do you think that's because people are becoming more aware of how much is needed, or is it another reason?
I think that it's a combination of both. People are becoming more aware. It's becoming more acceptable. And then people are starting to really realize that they are not okay. And they are being able, and they're comfortable enough to say it out loud. I'm not okay, and I need to go get help. I said something about being strong, and this is my theory. This is one of the analogies of being strong. When we think about strong, we like to use that term that I'm a strong black woman, I'm a strong man, and I cringe every time I hear that statement. I cringe because if I gave you a piece of metal that was bent, I gave you a brick, and I gave you a hammer, and I told you, I say, Angie, I need you to stretch this metal back out. You would pick up that hammer, and you would start whacking on it until that metal bent out straight. You wouldn't even think about what that metal was, what the metal was made of or what the hammer was made of. The hammer is what we call strong. We take our strong people and we beat the heck out of everything with them. And then they get to the point where they're damaged and they're hurt and they're bruised and nobody checks on the hammer. I have about 8 hammers in my house because when I can't find one, I go get another one. And then if I'm in a different room and I need a hammer and I can't find it, like I said, I go get another one and I never put it back. And that's how we do with strong people. We never take care of them. So when I hear someone say, I'm strong, I cringe. There's nothing wrong with being strong, but resilient. Something else besides strong, because strong people, we kind of disregard them. We kick them to the side and until we need them, just like the hammer.
Right. And it's like when you need them, you pull on them, but then if you don't need them, nobody calls and checks on them. I was just talking to someone just today about that and how that one person was checking on everybody, and they decided, you know what, I'm not going to do it anymore. I'm just going to step back and see if anybody checks on me, and nobody called. And nobody even called to say, well, I haven't gotten a text from you, because they were texting these people every day, and they're calling and checking every day. But them not calling and not checking on the other person, they never got a call back. And I was like, wow, that spoke volumes to me of the way, that we treat people. It shouldn't be. But you were talking about your sessions that you have that are free sessions. I saw a free session that you had, and I had planned to attend, and then something came up, and I couldn't get to the one that you had on relationships and setting boundaries. And are you doing these on a regular basis, or was that just a one-time seminar?
I work with a girlfriend of mine. Her name is Barbara Reynolds, and she is I should know the name of her company, and I don't. Oh my God, she's gonna kill me. But oh my God, it just slipped my mind. But what we do is, she got with me and she said, Yvette, let's do workshops once a month on random topics. And so I have, when I tell you, Angela, I have a almost old school encyclopedias of different tools and topics that I've accumulated and worked on over the years, that, you know, if you tell me anything, I can give you a topic or a workshop on it I can put it together in about 15 to 20 minutes. And I see where, you know, the need is. But so what we did is we started out for the last, you can go on my website, and all the workshops that we've done so far, it's on my website under workshops. But the workshops that we're doing moving forward, we're actually adding more information to it. And those workshops is going to be for a minimal fee of $5. And I don't think that that's a lot. And, you know, some people, I've gotten pushback about, you know, why are you charging and this and this and this? Because one thing that I treasure, the one thing that I can't get back is my time. And when I give something my time, or anyone gives me their time, I cherish it. I'm thankful for it. But I want to make sure that it's something that if I give you my time in a workshop, trust it's going to be worth more than $5.
Right. It will be.
You know what I'm saying? It will. I know it will be, because that's what I do, and I just want people to be. One thing that I realized is that when you give workshops that we've given away, we have you know, people come and people go. But everybody talks about them and how good they are and this and this and this. Workshops that I've given away workshops at my job. I've had workshops. I've had series of workshops, and that I was trying to get the community to get involved in mental health, and I was getting pushback. And the moment that I start charging, it shows me who is actually interested in getting something done, versus it's almost like taking a group of pennies and throwing them in the air, and then, you know what I'm saying, handing them directly to the people that actually want the benefit, want what you have to offer.
Right. Because I've heard some people who have said they were like, if you put a price on it and people are willing to pay even that minimal amount, then they want that information and they value it more.
Exactly.
Than getting it free all the time, because then they get the workshop, they get the information, they put it off to the side. But if somebody really wants it, they'll come after it, because we purchase what we want, you know.
Exactly.
We'll go out there and we'll get it. Yeah. Do you do? We do. Do you do family counseling also?
I do. I work with individuals. I work with groups. That's one thing that I plan on getting started this year. And because of the pandemic, it's making it easier. But my what I call electronic or internet skills are very limited. So I'm trying to figure stuff out as I go. But one of my goals is to do group counseling on. But I do all of my 100. I'm 100% online. Yeah, you can sign into my website, and then you can go from there, and you'll find where you can make an appointment. I do, like I said, I do groups, I do individuals, and I do children. I work with children. I like for children, the youngest that I like to work with children is about 8 or 9. I think that I do work with children younger than that in regards to trauma, but
Okay.
8 or 9 is what I usually work with. But anything younger than that, and there's no specific issue, I like to work with the parents versus the child.
Okay. Okay. Are you accepting new clients now?
I am.
Okay. And how could you give your information again so they can get in contact with you if they are seeking a counselor?
My website is the best way. It's www.betterdecisions with an S on the end, betterhealth.com. My email address is Yvette, YVETTE, at betterdecisions.betterhealth.com, or my phone number is 803-597-2324. Any of those ways. If you call me, you're likely going to get a voicemail because many days I'm working, and I usually return calls after 6:30.
Okay, and that will work because a lot of people, because they're working during the day and different things, that probably will be a good time for them also. Guys, if you have any questions, can you please put them in the comment section at the bottom? We're going to I'm going to get those questions to Yvette, and she will be able to maybe give some answers back, and we can email you back and give you some answers, because I believe that mental health is so important. It's always been important, but now that we were saying before, people are becoming aware of how much they need the help and what is needed in their lives, that we all need somebody that we can sit down and talk to, because a lot of things in our lives have been swept underneath a rug, or people push it back and they don't deal with it and they don't talk about it, but then it shows up in our bodies. It will show up in the way that we act towards people, and it show up in our physical health because of what's going on in our minds, and we need to get those things worked out. Yvette, I have another question for you, and that is, if you could go back in time and counsel the 21-year-old Yvette, what type of advice would you give to her?
Oh, that's a good question. I would tell her, listen to your body. I'm going to tell you a story about that. I was sitting at the doctor's office, and as I'm sitting at the doctor's office, I usually turn my phone off when I go to the doctor's office, but this time I forgot. And as I'm sitting there, my phone rung. And as my phone rung right after she put that cup on your arm, to get your blood pressure. And so the phone rung, and I looked over at it, and she said, "Are you okay?" And I said, "Yes, why?" And she said, "Your blood pressure just shot up as soon as you looked over to your right." Well, over on the phone, it was somebody that I had a discourse with, and I did not want to talk to. And I realized that I had become so accustomed to how to functioning inside of dysfunction. I had become so accustomed to my body, my blood pressure being up, or being okay with how things were. And I realized that I had got out of touch with how my body feels and the somatic symptoms that my body display when I am under stress. And so if I were to tell my 21-year-old self something, it would be to pay attention to your body. Our bodies will tell us what's wrong. Our bodies will tell us when something is wrong, if we need to do something, is something causing us too much or something. But what we do is we ignore it, and we tell ourselves, "I got this. It ain't that serious. This will pass. This headache will pass. This stomach ache will pass. These shoulders, I just need a massage. My lower back hurts, but I just need to stretch." And all of those are things that our body, the ways that our body is talking to us, telling us, hey, there's something else going on in your life and in your environment that you need to get it together. And if you don't, I'm going to take you out of here. And we already know that there's empirical evidence that supports that stress, anxiety, depression, grief, all of that stuff will take us out. It will kill us.
Yes.
So I would tell myself, my 21-year-old self, to listen to her body. Listen.
Wow. That's powerful. It is. And that's something we need to do today. Guys, if y'all listening out there, you need to listen to your body because it speaks to you and it tells you what's going on. It may take you going to a counselor and maybe going and sitting and talking to Yvette to find out that thing that's there that you really need to deal with, but you really need to have somebody that you can talk to because we shouldn't be hurting all the time and we shouldn't be having headaches all the time. And
Exactly.
our bodies are not even equipped to carry the type of stress we put on it sometimes.
Exactly.
So we need to make sure that we're taking care of ourselves. I have another question, and that one is, what do you feel is your greatest accomplishment to date, like for today's date? If you would say this is my greatest accomplishment, what would that be?
Following my dream. I've wanted to be a counselor for a very long time. And I think that however you look at it, God, the universe, however, pushes you and keep pushing you and keep pushing you and keep pushing you until you find or till you get back into that corner where you're destined to be. And because of life, things happening in my life just kept pushing me, and I got to a space where I could not deal with it anymore. And so I started seeing a counselor. As I'm seeing a counselor, I realized that my life was coming at me faster than seeing a counselor, those weekly sessions. So what I did was I stopped doing what I was doing and went back to school because I was about to lose my mind. But yeah, I would listen to myself and just go from there.
Wow, and that's awesome. Also, everything you're saying is so powerful, guys. I want you to contact Better Decisions, Better Health. She's given us her information. We're going to have it posted in the comment bar so that you can see it. It'll be pinned there so that you can get in contact with Yvette Myers and find a counselor because we all need somebody that we can talk to. I tell my children that all the time. I was like, I'm your mom. I can talk to you, but and I can listen to you, to the things that you have to say, but it would be best for you to go to a professional so they can sit down and you can really get to the bottom of whatever is going on in your heart because some things they don't want to share with me. And some things they may feel like they're going to hurt me if they share it with me, so they won't share it with me. So my advice to them is always go to a counselor, seek somebody out that you can go to and really sit and deal with whatever the issues are so that you can be the best person that you can be and you can become more of you. But, yeah, it's like I want people to, everybody that's listening tonight, my whole and beautiful nation, if you need a counselor, please get in contact with Yvette. And she'll sit down, she'll talk to you. You can find out what you need to know so that you can maybe set up some sessions and do what you need to do so you can do the work to come out to be the person that you need to be. You can define your purpose because when you start taking off all those layers and putting all that stuff to the side, you really find out who you are and you can move forward. And that's what we want for you. And it's betterdecisionsbetterhealth.com, right?
Yes, betterdecisionsbetterhealth.com. I have a YouTube channel. I have a Instagram and Twitter, but I am not a social media junkie. So I have those, and I've put some stuff out. I need to be more diligent, I guess that's the word, in doing those things because I don't believe in putting stuff out if I ain't got nothing to say or if it's not something substantial. So I don't post every day. I post when I'm led to post and when I have something to say. So, and according to social media, that's not what you're supposed to do. So you're supposed to be consistent and be in people's face all the time. And I'm like, nah, if I ain't got nothing to say, I don't want to be in your face, and let it be. But I do have a YouTube channel that everything that I've done in the past, I put it on the YouTube channel. It is also Better Decisions, Better Health. My Instagram is Better Health 23, and my Twitter is Better Health. 23. All of those are it's pretty much the same.
Okay. Well, Yvette, you have given us a lot of information in this time frame. What I want to do and what I can do, like later on when you have more time and you have some more time, is to also bring you back. I'm working on some things where I want to have maybe like a live show where I can have people call in and ask questions or do different things. So I will. I'm gonna look forward to maybe having you come back and we can do that once I get all of that set up. But we need our mental health. We need it to be better. So I want you all to make sure that you send up those hearts for Yvette tonight. Let her know that you're listening. Let her know how much you appreciate her being on this show tonight. I want you all to contact her. I want you to go to her website and go to her page and check everything out and get some information that's going to bring about a change in your life. It'll bring a revelation to your mind where you can say, okay, this is what I need to do. This is how I need to go about doing it. And that will lead you probably to give her a call so that you can set up some sessions and go in. Do you normally meet with someone? Does the sessions last, like, is there a time limit that you give to the clients that you're working with, or are you working with them like just on a continuous basis?
It depends on what the clients need. Some clients and I do realize that with the way the times are, many people don't have insurance, and I wanted to touch on that, and you don't have, but I have set up a program where I think that I can help everybody. And it all depends on what you want and how you want to move forward. And so it's a lot that I've done. I've put on, if you reach out to me on, like I said, on my website and talk to me and we can work something out. It's my goal to get people to start talking about mental health and to start thinking that it's not something taboo. And when I remember some people that I talk to, I chuckle because the moment that I start talking about mental health, the first thing that I usually hear is I'm not crazy. And mental health doesn't mean that you're crazy. It prevents you from being crazy. And so taking care of your mental health now is going to be ideal. Getting our children involved and learning tools to teach our children so that they can grow up to govern themselves is going to be ideal. What happens is if we give them the tools to govern themselves, as they grow, we don't have to worry about them being bullied because they know how to handle themselves. We don't have to worry about them being taken advantage of because it's easier for them to speak. One of my passions is children. It's difficult, and if I were to say anything before we leave, it's difficult for a child to tell an abuser that someone is abusing them. So keep that in mind when you tell your child, if you're abusing your child, and then you say, I will hurt anybody or I will do this to anybody if they hurt my child. But in the child's mind, how can I tell my abuser that someone is abusing me? So keep that in mind, in regards to children. That's one of my passions. I know I didn't answer the question, but I can just kind of went to the left, and I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Look, I'm sorry. I realize
it is okay. Because I hear the passion in your voice. I hear it when you're talking, and that's my main thing is that you have a passion for what you do. And what I heard even in the beginning is like you became what you needed. You said you needed that counselor, and you became what you needed, and that is powerful. So
exactly.
Now,
and then,
go ahead.
And then I realized that it was difficult, and I don't like to make it about race, but it's difficult to find counselors that look like me, and and I wanted to make that available.
Yeah, because a lot of people, they feel more comfortable And I've been in that situation where I thought that I found somebody that I could sit down and talk to, and what I found out was I was sitting there counseling myself. And it was with somebody who did not look like me, and they were just sitting there looking at me, and I'm like, okay, you're not helping. It's like you're really not helping me. So I need to find somebody else that can understand what's going on here and can actually help me, because I am counseling myself right now. And one thing that I looked at, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. I just get so excited. I tell clients when I counsel them is some days you're going to walk away and you're going to go, Bertha or Yvette, I love my counselor. And then days you're going to walk away that you're going to go, I don't want to come back because I challenge your thinking styles. My counseling style is 2 forms, Bowen System Family and Cognitive Behavior Therapy. Bowen System Family Therapy says that the systems that we are attached to tells us how to think, which tells us how we are. Our systems are very powerful. Those are family, social life, personal life, religious life, even the absence of religion. Those systems keep us in check. If you've ever been on social media and saw someone make a comment and lose their job, that's how powerful our systems are. They tell us how to behave. And then cognitive behavior therapy says that how we think is how we are. So when you put those 2 together, it's the systems that we are attached to tells us how to think, which tells us how we are. Now, when I counsel, I either identify the dysfunctional system or identify the dysfunctional counseling style. That does not work for a lot of people, and that's fine. But so that's why I tell clients that the first day, these are my counseling styles. These are my disciplines. I look for the dysfunction in anxiety, stress, depression, grief, conflict, and substance use or abuse, or I look for the dysfunction, either your system or your thinking style. We outgrow our systems if you are the strongest person in your family and everybody leans on you. That gets exhausting. You know, who do you talk to, as we said earlier? So if you want to pull away from that, if you no longer want to be the strongest person, the family kind of keeps you in check and say, no, you're the strongest person. All of us, we know everybody comes to you, but then you no longer want to be that because you have nobody to go to. And so now you start to feel a pull away from the family. You start to feel like people are using you. And thus, that's how I address your dysfunctional system or dysfunctional thinking style.
Wow. Now, that is a lot. That got me over here thinking, but yes, I love it, though. I love it. I have one thing left before we end everything for tonight. I wanted to see if you had a quote, a scripture, a poem, anything that encourages you that you would like to share with the listeners, just something that encourages you, like on a day-to-day basis.
I picked Better. The funny thing is, Better Decisions, Better Health was decided on in 2002. I was laying across my bed, and I said, with better decisions comes better health. I got a website in 2004, and I was paying on a website then on Better Decisions, Better Health. And every year I would renew my subscription for my website, and there were so many times I decided, I was like, I should just give this why am I paying for something that I don't use? It went from 2004 to 2015 website under construction. So
wow.
if there was something, but when I graduated with my master's in mental health, everything that I needed was already in place. So, you know what I'm saying, the website was already in place. All I had to do was just update it. My business license was already in place. All I had to do was update it. You know, everything was already in place. I knew that there was something for me to do with Better Decisions, Better Health. So if there was something that I use it's my byline. My byline is Better Decisions, Better Health, transition from within. Until we start to deal with the things that are inside of us, especially us as adults, we all got that baggage. Until we start to deal and unwrap those issues inside, nothing's going to get better. The surface can look clean and pretty and everything, but the undercurrent is killing us. So my byline would be transition from within.
Wow. Transition from within. Guys, that's powerful, and that I love it. I really do. Yvette, I thank you so much for agreeing to come on and allow me to do this interview with you. This has been informative. It has brought revelation to me, and prayerfully it's going to bring about some changes even within my own self, and I hope that it has done the same for my whole and beautiful nation. I hope you all are listening and that you're taking in this information and that you apply it. Everything that you can apply, that you apply, that you will go to Yvette's website, that you will look at the information she has there and apply it. Just don't read it, but apply it and get in contact with her, and so that you can have a better health, a better mental health. That's what we all need. And I'm looking forward to the great things that's going to be happening with her and her business. And Yvette, I just appreciate you so much for coming on tonight.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. Okay, guys.
Yes. We're going to have to do this again, and I'm going to try to do a live so I can have you on. But we're going to see how that works. That will be great. But, guys, I thank you for joining me tonight. I thank you for being a part of Whole and Beautiful. I thank you all for listening tonight, and I hope that something that was said tonight is encouraging you, is causing you to grow and to move forward and to be the person that you need to be and the person that you're desiring to be. We are going to be back here again next Friday at 7 p.m. If you missed any part of this interview, you can go back and listen at a later time, but you can listen on tomorrow, which is Saturday. It will air again at 4 p.m., and you can re-listen to it. You can like it. You can share it with some other people. Make sure you share with someone else. And you can also go to my bit.ly link, which is bit.ly/Whole Beautiful. If you go there, you can go back and you can listen to the broadcast there also. I thank you guys for joining me tonight. Remember that you can just continue to move forward and go forward. I am Angela D. Oliphant, allowing you to see, hear, and know that Whole and Beautiful is just not your destination, guys. It is most definitely your journey. Have a great and powerful weekend, and we will join you again next week at 7 p.m. Good night.